Patriots going up against the Falcons. With that, let's get you out to the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Larry, we are just off of Centennial Olympic Park Drive at the home of the Falcons since 1992. It's the Georgia Dome here in downtown Atlanta. Coming up, an important divisional round matchup in the NFC between the Green Bay Packers and the Atlanta Falcons. Now a handoff working right. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Man, wasn't that long ago that the guy playing that spot was an outside linebacker type of a guy. Now, as a defensive end, how about the speed that he used to get into the backfield and make the play?
And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll take it forward for about 5 up to the 28-yard line.
On a second and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on third down.
And for the Falcons, 5 men in the secondary now on third. Rodgers going to throw. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's fourth down. This is taken at the 23. A good return there, 17 yards. And it'll be Falcon football as they take possession. And the back goes into motion. The former Indiana Hoosier here, Tevin Coleman. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
And the offense behind the chains here, a touch on 2nd and 11. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. On 2nd down, Ryan. He goes underneath to Freeman. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Still in search of the 1st down after that last completion. The play clock's running down. Now it's Ryan. And he will find his man on the outside. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And a short gain down to about the 33. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. And a look at the offense that is hoping to put some points up in bunches here in this one. Second down, 8. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Now Ryan on 2nd down. The left side completion to Jones. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
They completed the screen on the perimeter, but boy, that was textbook defense. Exactly as you're taught to play against a wide receiver screen, and they snuffed it out for a loss of yardage.
10 yards to go on 3rd. On 3rd down, Ryan. It's caught. Jones. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes this one down to the 15.
And fits the exact right word. Over the middle, there's almost always traffic, so anytime you're a receiver in that area, you're not just focused on catching the football. You're wondering where the collision's going to come from, right? Because there's almost always someone there able to concentrate, catch it, and even added a little extra at the end with a short run.
And the 8th play on this drive coming up. On 2nd down, here's Ryan. Caught by Jones. Now Jones is hit. He lost the football. And the Packers pick it up. And a good return here as he takes it up past the 30-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And the first drive, 3 and out. Second possession. See if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out process. You have some plays that you've got called and you want to see how defense reacts. It may not go terrific on the first one. Now they're ready to go. They've kind of got to look at them, got a sense. Let's see if they open things up a little bit.
See if they open things up. Let's see what the defense does here, too, after a good stop. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. Here's the offensive unit coming out onto the field in just a moment. Randall Cobb, very good at wideout.
Went to college to be a quarterback. Discovered his talents couldn't be limited to one position. He's a 1,000-yard receiver every year for his quarterback.
They come out here in the eye. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. 2nd down, a little more productive than first. 7 yards on the gain. It gets him to 3rd and 3 now.
Well, this play sequence was really kind of called in reverse. Incomplete pass on 1st and 10. Nice run on 2nd and 10 when probably everyone was expecting him to throw the football. Now, if you're the defense, what are they going to do on 3rd down? You're a little off balance.
Let's see if they can convert here on 3rd and 3. Rodgers going to try and throw on 3rd down. And he's got Will Tye complete. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. So a loss of 5, and it'll be second down.
Anthony Barr got a real education at UCLA in playing not just his normal position of stand-up outside linebacker, but down defensive end. So he had to incorporate a variety of moves, take on bigger people. So he learned great leverage while he was there. That really helps him when he's trying to stop people running the ball.
Born in South Bend, Indiana. Thought about going back to go to Notre Dame, but you're right, great crew. Now he'll be wrapped up around the waist and pushed down. So Darius Smith in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. It's a gain of just 3, and the offense likely going to yield to the punting unit here on 4th down.
I like what they were thinking on defense. Just guard the first down sticks. Don't let anyone pass that. Didn't matter whether they threw it or ran it. They just ended up rallying to the football in the running play and stopped them short of a first down.
Here's Jacob Shum now as he'll kick it away for the second time. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter about to get underway with the Packers in possession of the football. They are, however, facing a 4th down situation. Here's Jacob Shum now as he'll punt it away for the second time. This is brought in at the 21. And he is finally out of bounds, but not before taking it down inside the 30. It's Freeman. And a good pickup there. He gets about 6 up to midfield.
First play of the drive. Let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
They'll come out in the pistol. From midfield now. Blitz coming, and down he goes. It'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack, and it's 3rd down.
Yeah, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
Halfback sent in motion. From the gun on 3rd down, Ryan. And Jones has it over the middle. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you at important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
Second down following the run. And he goes in motion here in the backfield. On second down, Ryan. He completes it to Jones. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains. And a pretty simple completion there underneath, but a successful one for the offense.
Partner, it doesn't have to be the big shots downfield all the time. Having that safety net underneath is a great thing for a quarterback.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 10 yards on the pickup there. And that leads to an Atlanta first down.
That is football 101 to know that the quarterback controls just about everything on offense. But a lot of times what gets missed is that the center controls line play. He has to communicate to the guards and the tackles.
And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Seth Roberts, an 11-yard touchdown. And the Falcons are in for 6. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave him great field position, turned into 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on 4th down.
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
Rodgers now on 1st down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. It'll be a loss of 10, and it'll bring up 2nd.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Now Rodgers throwing on 2nd down. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. A good job defensively to hold that to 4 yards, and now it's 3rd down.
All right, I'm going to show my age here a little bit. We used to talk about running backs catching the ball as safety valves. Nowadays, they're a big part of the passing offense.
Quit acting like you're so old. You're only 65. And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. On 3rd and long, it's Rodgers. And he's going to be brought down back at his own 6-yard line. Well, they went with the nickel. They throw in an extra defensive back. Coverage was very good.
Yeah, it was exactly as you would expect. A passing down, you bring in the nickel package. Just as you described, the coverage was excellent and allowed one of their linemen to end up getting to the quarterback.
His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. Taken right around the 44. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Falcons are set up well to begin their drive as it'll begin in enemy territory already. Really nice starting field position here for the offensive unit. Alone to the right is Jones. Coleman. And he'll get 3 down to the 34-yard line. Mike Daniels makes the tackle.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good 1st down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on 1st down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
And the back goes into motion. On second down, here's Ryan. Finds Roberts left side. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Third down now following the completed pass. Third and 2, now Ryan. A minute 58 to go in this first half of play. Back with more NFC playoff action after this. And this one is right down the middle. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So a good kick there, and they wrap up the drive by putting 3 on the board.
And you know, let's face it, you're not always going to come away with 6. Defense in the NFL are just too good. But you've got to come away with something. And there, they get 3.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, get them some space, and try and make a first down and get some momentum going. It's been a struggle for them throughout the game, and that 3 and out on the last possession, that told you just how stalled they are on offense.
So who will step up here? We'll see. Throwing on first down is Rodgers. He rifles one that's intercepted. It's Desmond Trufant, and they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
On second down, Freeman. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. He could muster only a yard there, and they'll be left with a third and very short. And now a timeout coming from the defensive side for the Packers. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime.
Double tight, guys, double tight.
They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends.
Let's go. Slam. 20. Switch.
On third down, Devontae Freeman. And he's going to have the first down yardage to the 35. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going. And some extras coming up on the line here, readying for the blitz. In the slot on the right is Graham. Now Ryan on first down. Caught on the right side by Jones. A good pick up there of 20 yards.
I really don't think that Julio Jones could be happier right now. Plenty of catch opportunities in this game. He's converted them, and his team's winning.
And Matt Ryan's happy, too, to have Julio Jones on the other side of these.
Yeah, you know, a lot of times we talk about breaking teams down, and oftentimes just through a running game. These two, they can break a team down through the air.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. They will run again with Coleman. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. Good first step there defensively, but they're still knocking on the doorstep, so maybe another run here?
I think so. One of my favorite coaches just say, son, if you could darn near...
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. From the 3-yard line again, they'll try and punch it in here on 3rd and goal. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Here's Ryan, and he fires one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. The Packer offense now ready to get back onto the field. And you got to think, if this is anything other than just taking a knee, I'd be very surprised.
Yeah, they've got enough to talk about at the half. Why do anything else? Just get out of there.
And no press coverage here. They are backing off in the secondary. And they'll run it here. Trucks through him.
Oh, man, right through it.
And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. So we've come upon halftime here in this NFC divisional round matchup. As we'll send you down to Orlando as we check in with Larry Ridley and our EA Sports halftime report. Larry? Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. And he'll go out of bounds across the 35-yard line.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
They'll need to get the play off quickly. On 1st and 10, it's Ryan. Looking for his running back, and he's got him. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him the football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit. But get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are. You know, make someone miss in the open field.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Give them 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
Well, that's the desired outcome coming out here in the second half of being able to run the football and establish a little bit of pace and maybe even a bit of dominance at the line of scrimmage. And they want that to continue. Way too early to think about this being ball control time. But The way they're running it, you got to think they may want to continue that and see if they can go ahead and grind their opponents into submission.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Coleman. And he'll be brought down just outside of the 30. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2. They'll run it now out of the gun. He winds up getting only a couple there, down to the 29.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
And here comes play number 6 on this drive. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. Coleman now. And he's able to pick up the first before he's taken down at the 27. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
I always appreciate runners who understand situations. That was just 3rd and inches. No reason to dance around in the backfield and try and break off a bigger play. Just go pick up the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
The defensive line disperses a little bit here, maybe expecting a pass. They come out here in the I. Now Ryan going to give it to Freeman. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play.
Let's go, defense. Let's get on the field, defense.
Halfback sent in motion. Now they'll throw it with Ryan. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Devontae Freeman, 26 yards. And the Falcons will extend their lead. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him? And you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. A look at the offense now here, coming back out on the road for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
Well, we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
Hits his target, the tight end, Will Tye. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
Rodgers now on first down. And that is incomplete. So a little grabbing there, but this time it goes against the offense for holding. And the penalty now makes it 1st and 20. Throwing now is Rodgers. It's caught left side by John Brown. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. Second down, here's Rodgers. And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like, right at the 40. Call it a gain of 3. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
Was that a receiver? Yeah, actually it was. It was a running back who was a receiver on the play. Ike's been spending time in the receiver drills getting his feet down.
Well, those guys out of the backfield, they got to be good, agile with their feet. He showed the agility there with a toe tap.
No doubt about it. It's like he'd went to ballet school. Got the toes down and stayed in bounds.
And he goes in motion here in the backfield. Rodgers now to throw. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Everything about that play tells you about today's NFL offenses and what they're asking out of running backs. You can't just be a guy who can run the football. You have to be able to catch it as well, and he didn't get that done on that play.
Still just the third quarter, but they've got to make something happen. I think they know that. They're going for it on 4th. Here we go on 4th down with Rodgers. And this is incomplete. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And the Falcons will take control of the football in great field position. Apparently they weren't interested in playing the field position game. They opt to keep their offense out there. A big mistake in hindsight.
Yeah, that one backfired. In hindsight's always 20/20, but let's call it what it was. We would have first guessed that one and said, don't do it here. Bad situation. I think they need to be closer to midfield before I would start to think it was a good idea.
Yeah.
And once you start taking risks like that, you're going to have to keep taking them throughout the game, especially when they don't work.
Yeah, at this stage of the second half, interesting. Now Ryan, and he's got his man on the out route. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25.
That was a nice completion on an out route, and those types of plays are the result of arm strength by the quarterback and timing by the receiver.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. Well, at least he was able to break that initial contact, or it could have been a loss.
Yeah, give credit to the defensive player, though. What did he do? Made him slow down, slow up his feet, and allowed the rest of the guys to get there to finish him off.
Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Falcons. They've got the football. They've got the lead as we get set to start the 4th. Now Ryan on second down. Oh, he almost had it. Already with one interception, just missing his second there.
Tremendous coverage there. Just did not catch the football and complete the interception. But what do they say all the time? If he had really good hands, he'd be playing offense.
Hey, you got three.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And a short gain here down to the 22. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down. And for the second time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. He connected on his first. This time it's 39 yards away. Time running out here on the play clock. And Prater's kick is on the money. It's good. And the lead now increases to 20-0. So it's 3 more points, and that widens things out even further here in the fourth.
Hey, in this league, you can never have too much. So if you're in range, grab the 3 whenever you can.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. Good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3, and that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
Finding time. Caught left side by Hilton. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. Rodgers to throw on 2nd down. Over the middle here to Brown. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
And now a timeout defensively by the Falcons. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. Rodgers will try again on 2nd down. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Xavier Rhodes with a pick.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
After the interception, here's Ryan. Now he's going to let it go deep left side. And they can't get the long connection as it falls incomplete. And now inside the red zone, the offense will operate. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to find some room as they get him down after a good run. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. And in this situation with the lead fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them.
And now a timeout coming from the defensive side for the Packers. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. They come out here in the eye. This is Coleman, and he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. Not enough there for a first. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1. Play clock winding down. And they're going to take it all the way down and just take the delay. They come out with one back and 3 tight ends. After the penalty, here's Freeman. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Okay, no score on that play, but this guy's been a touchdown machine all year long. You know they trust him with the football.
And Prater's kick is on the money. It's good. And that lead will move from 20 up now to 23. So give them 3 there. A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they couldn't punch it in.
And credit this defense, too. That was the old bend but don't break approach. But it kept the offense out of the end zone.
Prater now will send it away following the made field goal. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. Looked like they had something going last drive. Then the interception happened. Will they recover?
The memory they need to keep with them is that they did have something going. They were moving the ball on offense, had a nice sequence going. Don't worry about the other part. You can't get that back. Let's get back to what you were doing well before.
I thought you were going to say they need to have no memory, but remember the good part, forget the bad.
I like that even better.
Now they'll run it on the toss. Oh, he pulls over it. He's still barreling through. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. And they're going to speed things up here.
So after a run like that, I will guarantee that the head coach is saying to himself, maybe even over his headsets to the rest of the staff, where was that all game long? We needed that. That's the type of run we planned for going into the game. Didn't get much of that, but let's move it forward. Let's build on it, get ready for the next week, and let's go play.
And this defense continues to give them fits. They just can't get really anything going on the ground, can they?
I love the theme that you just brought up. This defense has been tough all game long against the run. We just saw another example of it there.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively.
58, 30.
Now Rodgers throwing on 2nd down. Going for the deep ball. And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on. 3rd down.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
2 receivers left, 1 to the right. And the back goes into motion. Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. Now look out, Rodgers lost the football. And he is going to bring this back inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point.
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about
Toe
that.
bashed it.
Super toe.
See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down. Halfback sent in motion. The play clock's running down. They'll run it now out of the gun. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Like any team, they would have loved to have had more yards on that run, but it looks like they just want to get to the 2-minute warning and see what they want to do after that.
Time for a break. This one, all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this. So 3rd and 2, and I count 6 defensive backs out there. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he picks up the first as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the first down.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. And now the Packers going to take another timeout. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Shift together here from the D-line. Ryan wants to throw it. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. Give him a couple on the run there, and now they're in that in-between area here on 4th and goal. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. And the 11-year veteran bangs it through, and that will make the lead now 26. So it's a 7-play drive, but it stalls out in the end.
Let's credit the defensive front 7. They were a little leaky at the start of the drive, but they stiffened toward the end.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Packers get set to go. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Throwing is Rodgers. It's complete to Brown, right side. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
T.Y. Hilton, the intended receiver. 3rd down here. Well, they haven't had a whole lot of success in the passing game here. Now, in the second half, he's thinking, I guess maybe just take a shot deep.
I think you're right. Almost looking for a bailout, isn't he? Can my receiver go up and make a big play for me? Can I create a penalty downfield, maybe pick up an interference call or get that yardage downfield? Anything trying to get going again, but you're right. He definitely took a shot.
And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. Now Rodgers got to have this one. And it is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Falcons will take control of the football in great field position. Atlanta now coming out on the field. They take over with great field position. They've got the big lead. Most would say they should kneel it, but the key word there is should. You never know here.
You never know. That's the exact play that should happen. But some people like stats. You know, some people like to put more things up on the board, but kneel down is usually the right play here.
We'll see what they do in this situation.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First level defensive line, second level linebackers, third level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first level run, and it was stopped by a second level player.
And he is going to lose yardage here. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a third down.
You have to love and admire the effort because he almost broke free in the backfield, but you also have to love and admire what the defense did. Swarmed the play and made sure he couldn't get anywhere. A loss of yardage.
8 yards still remaining here on third down.
Three down. Got it, Stu, Eddie. Mike 50.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll have the first down, getting this one to the 14-yard line. The storyline of this one, Charles, no doubt the number 0. Zilch, nada. A shutout so hard to do in the NFL.
It really is, and what an accomplishment, because you feel that not just on the defensive side, but as a full team. There's a lot of pride that goes into shutting out an opponent. And how about that 0 on the scoreboard for them, going along with those zeros in the time column, too.
That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter at EA Madden NFL. It's a win for the Falcons here as we say so long from Atlanta.